right off the open, we're setting up for good opportunity for my charts. Quick recap. Actually, I can't recap right now. I'm stalking a trade, so bear with me. We'll get a recap in of yesterday and what we're seeing and hypos and all that good stuff shortly. Banged in. Let's get it. Oh, not a good signal there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll probably be scratching out of this shortly. Not good. The thesis is there. The order flow is not. Can I get some nonstop barista credo in the chat, please? Nonstop barista credo in the chat. Who knows the credo? Who knows it? Anyone other than Sims's stop typing or who knows it? Open question with a big prize for anyone other than Bruce Bowman or Sims's. It's not a voodoo thing. Oh, RHS is going to nail it. He's going to nail it. You all lose. He's going to nail it. Oh, not allowed to say it. Not a barista. Oh my gosh. You guys are really letting me down here. I'm not even going to be able to post this embarrassing recording to YouTube. Arnett's coming in hot. Oh, light trade out of nowhere with the copy paste. Beautiful. Beautiful. Light trade. I give you 15 minutes of my time today for a one-on-one webcast or whatever you want, or email questions, whatever you want. You've got 15 minutes of my time, which sounds kind of stingy, but that's really a lot of my time lately. Oh, what a life. All right. Rather than me talking about my trade right now, we should talk about the credo, what it means. All my areas that I highlight. Thank you, Noxter. All right, so we still have an order flow problem here. I did take a little bit of profits right here into these low 80s, but buyers are not looking great. I'm sticking with the thesis. I think that the risk reward is great. Roger, all of my gray areas that you see, it's all based on market profile. That is how I frame the vast majority of my contextual framework. So what we're going to talk about right now is not the fact that I'm in a long trade. No, right quick. Sorry, guys. Let's do our morning routine here. So yesterday, attempted an initial short as I was just getting on that or getting off of that quick call yesterday. So we got a short here. That failed. Okay. We even added back to it here and then stopped out of the rest of it. So pretty much a scratch overall there with some scales and scratches. Then we were coming into the number, so we waited for that. Then we're pressing up against this next level. And by the way, hypo A, if you recall, was for a quick kind of hold of this this area here. So we were looking for something quick there to run up. But then once we break into here, this was just beautiful, beautiful place to get involved. That whole kind of retesting of that area, even this area here, wick out for finishing the move was great. Poor high there. It needed to be taken out. All right, our current trade is seeing those sellers take control. Anyways, I've got some stops in, so I'm good. I can keep talking. So, beautiful opportunity to move and traverse this poor high, which we immediately took out overnight. And then further rotational behavior inside of this area, inside of yesterday's range and bulk of kind of afternoon distribution. So that's why I'm getting long from this area, is I still see us as rotational within this environment here. We've got an order flow problem today. So we'll see. So hypo A for me today is for this general area to hold for a continued rotation back up into this zone here. That's hypo 1. Hypo 2 is for this area to fail and break down, then we get retest to where we can go to some lower targets. Hypo 3 is if we can even break back into this key 80 area we were using the past couple days to then really look to the downside. Obviously, if I had to throw in a fourth one, we can break above this area to go work up here to 66.20s. But that is about it. And give me 1 second. When the wonder himself, Steve Spencer, walks into your office, you got to take the call. You just got to take the call. So now we can talk about the credo. Right quick, poor high yesterday. I know we took it out overnight convincingly and failed. But typically, we really lean on the RTH session to also need to accomplish those things for whatever reason. Maybe one day that'll change, but I still see that occurring. If we split out this profile, we see we have a nice afternoon distribution, a barely acceptable early day distribution, and we're kind of here in no man's land between those. I got a new mouse. It is a pleasure to use. It's a gaming mouse. It's got programmable kind of macro keys. Any key you can program to do whatever you want. So I'm actually going to be experimenting with some trade execution with it, if I can find the time to test that out. It's got keys for your thumb on the side. The scroll wheel, you can not only press down and click, but you can actually click right or left. It adjusts your sensitivity settings on the fly. It's pretty sweet. I'm really loving it. In fact, I like it so much, I'm looking into now getting a gaming keyboard instead of this just little piece of junk Dell that I currently have. I was researching one and it said it's 4 times faster than the normal keyboard signal relay. So, if gamers think that stuff is important, why in the world would day traders not? So, play a little Fortnite. It'll change your life. It'll change your entire outlook on life. Frank knows what I'm talking about. He's typing in the chat. Buyers hanging on here, and let's discuss the credo. The credo, it's a 3-tiered gaming desk. Why not? Posting it here and again in the chat. Statum, Commercia Hodai, Influent. Okay, 3 legs of this barista credo bar stool. Statum. Okay, what is the condition What kind of condition are we in? Well, if we go back to my hypos and the rationale I was laying out, you would have picked up that I said we are in a rotational condition in this environment. That is the first leg. The second leg, what do you think it stands for? What does commercia hodie stand for? Commercia, like commercial. It's essentially, I mean, it means trade today. What is the current, situation today? So we have a bigger picture view of what the condition is. And by the way, I was not mimicking this price action. I was mimicking this level, which is derived from market profile, which is a higher time frame than what we're looking at here, okay? So we have the condition. We have today's current trade. How are we trading relative to that condition? And then 3, what's the third? Influent. What does that mean? It means like flow, right? Order, flow. I think influent means flow in Latin. Googling it just to make sure. Yes, it means flow. You guys are terrible Googlers. And right now, we do not have the flow for this trade. We don't have it. So we just stopped out. You start to put together a trade plan with those 3 things: a higher time frame context, defining the whether it's just trend or condition on the intraday basis within that context, and then you can begin to use some order flow skills to help you fine tune what you're doing and see strength and weakness of buyers and sellers. Start to put together an edge there. Start to put together an edge. Seller's still in control of this tape. Pete, you just reach out to me whenever you want that time, okay, bud? Doesn't have to be today. It can be whenever you have something that you want to discuss with me, okay? Ron, the vast majority of the time, I'm paying across the spread. I'm using market orders rather than trying to get a fill at a limit price. A lot of targets that I take, scaling out of trades, those will be limit orders, especially if it's an area where I feel it's going to be, competitive to get a fill. Other people are going to be trying to get out in the same area. But when it comes to entries, most of the time, if I'm getting long, I'm getting long on the offer. If I'm getting short, I'm getting short on the bid. Whenever I see Ron's picture, not zoomed up, just like kind of far away in the small box, I always think it's Ron Burgundy. Does anyone else think it's Ron Burgundy? It's Ron Burgundy. You should change your name in the chat to Ron Burgundy. Most of the time, Ron. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It could be just such a teaching point, hopefully a breath of fresh air for some of you if you are like I used to be. I had my main thesis on the day today. I thought it was a really great idea. Found a way to get into the trade. Want to make money, want to be right on the idea? Sure, why not? I manage it. I stay mentally flexible enough to realize the third leg of the stool was really not supporting the thesis at the time. I bowed out of the trade, made a little bit on the trade. Do you think think about how silly it would be if you guys were to watch me behave like you might behave in the situation. Oh, dang it. The HFT's got me again. they're just playing with my level, blah, 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 excuses, like go on tilt because I was wrong on an idea. Just think about how silly that would seem if y'all saw me behave like that. You gotta put in the work to go beyond and grow beyond that type of attachment to outcome of individual trades, guys. And this is, I'm not talking about for the sake of your own happiness. I'm talking about for the sake of you being able to remain objective and execute according to your process, which is probably the holy grail of trading within itself. The mental game, mental toughness, self-awareness, the proper belief systems around what markets are, around what trading really is. These are the things that separate the boys from the men, the girls from the womans. SMBfutures.com. You can take my intro course, $99. If you're an advanced trader but you still struggle with the mental game, just skip to the whatever it's called, beliefs and mindset section, I think is what it's called, and watch that about 20 times. Yeah, Ben, that's perfectly fine. I don't trade that short term. I don't see that as a pullback and a down move when I look at this chart. Just for me, I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just explaining how I see things. I see down leg, up leg, current down leg, right? If you want to, you could see up leg, down leg, up leg, down leg, up leg, down, up, down. So here's your retest and then go. Too short term for me. Single prints taken out. Always want to be aware of that. If you're a market profile person, me just saying that should not have been the first time that you are aware of it. 20 seconds until the old S&P opens up. S&P, is it going to break down? Here we go. All right, guys, got to step off the webcast at this point. We are in Hypo 2 mode, stalking shorts back into this area. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the chat. Share with each other, talk with each other. Cheers.
Many people want to be traders. They're passionate about markets, but they don't know how to accomplish the goal of being a successful trader. They don't know the path to achieve that goal. And it's easy to want to be a trader, but that doesn't mean it'll be easy to be one. And there's no easy path to any form of greatness, but there is a path. SMB Futures gives traders a way to move their trading forward, a way to rise above all those who try and fail. Whether you're just starting out or an established veteran, we have a place to plug you into our system and keep you moving forward down the right path. Maybe you need to connect with successful traders. Maybe you need training to develop mental toughness or find edge. Maybe you're ready to trade on our team, either remotely or on our New York desk, where you are backed by large amounts of capital, provided with world-class professional technology, where you work with a risk manager that knows you, within a culture of coaching and mentoring, at a firm that takes all the downside risk while encouraging you to become the best version of yourself. For those with the courage to make the journey, SMB Futures is here to move your trading forward.